film is really going to be all about. Of course, it's the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh and his friends in the 100-Acre Wood. I remember reading the books about Winnie the Pooh when I was a child, and I remember seeing the short episodes that used to be on ABC on Saturday mornings. It was a bit fun to watch, and if I could do it all over again, I really would. I had several of the VHS tapes, and I remember sticking them in the old VCRs, and having the VHS tape, kind of screw up, and you had to deal with the tracking issues and different things. It was kind of cool. It's very unorthodox to be sitting here talking about VHS tapes. Usually what we're doing here on HCW Entertainment Variety Radio are talking about DVD and Blu-ray releases. Blu-ray really becoming the thing now, replacing DVD very quickly with 5 times the typical storage space of a traditional DVD, the protective coating for scratching, the ability to enhance the graphics, both the graphics and the sound, upping it from traditional 720p to 1080p, and going from traditional sound to 7.1. And now all of a sudden we're going back in time and talking about a traditional VHS tape where you had to deal with tracking issues on VCRs. I remember when VCRs were first released for the first time, and they were $1,000. The original VCRs, the original prototypes, when they first came on the market, were over $1,000. And if you had a VHS tape, it was absolutely a phenomenal thing to behold. And now we've gone from VHS tapes to DVD, and we're slowly making the transition from DVD into Blu-ray, and within 2 or 3 years now, Blu-ray is going to be at the top of the mountain in terms of superiority. But I remember watching the Winnie the Pooh shows on the VHS tapes, and watching it on Saturday mornings on ABC and of course on Disney Channel. They had different versions of the program released through the years. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh had to be the most popular one, with over 100 episodes produced. And they had Pooh's Corner, which was a 3D experience in terms of Winnie the Pooh, and it was really cool. If you talk in terms of dollar value, I think that Tigger definitely sold more merchandise than Winnie the Pooh. I think he was the more popular one out of all the characters. You had Rabbit and Owl and Kanga and Roo as part of the story, but the one that was the most popular and really stood out to me was Tigger because of his enthusiasm. Disney loved to profess that he was the only Tigger. Of course, the most popular Disney song, one of the most popular Disney songs that was ever produced on a Winnie the Pooh soundtrack, was the Tigger song that you can actually pull up on YouTube. I've done it many times. I'm a victim of doing it. And I think that, it's great, how all the characters tied in so well and had different personalities. The key thing about the Disney Winnie the Pooh characters are they all had different personalities, and that's what separated them from characters like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Goofy and Donald. They all had different personalities, and you could identify them through their personalities. You had Eeyore with the kind of depressing feel, not having a home. You had Rabbit and his pride over his garden, and you had Tigger with this enthusiasm, personality, where he believed that he was the only Tigger. I remember when he went on a search actually to find more than one Tigger, because he believed that his family were out there somewhere and they would come to find him and meet him one day. That was actually the concept of the Tigger film, which was released on Disney DVD for the first time in several years a while back. And if you can pick up a copy of the Tigger movie, which is nothing compared to what we're going to be seeing now on the big screen, definitely do it, because it is a wonderful family film that teaches you a lot of different life lessons, and no doubt some type of life lesson will be included with this Winnie the Pooh film that's coming up for the first time on the big screen in what's got to be over 30 years. I'm going to ask the listening audience this here as we're taking a glimpse into the expectations of the Winnie the Pooh film. What's your favorite Winnie the Pooh memories with yourself or a family member? You can tell us at Facebook.com Jonathan Clarke, YouTube.com Jonathan Clarke 22 by leaving us a comment in our Winnie the Pooh film review or preview, whatever you want to call it, video on our YouTube channel. And also don't forget to subscribe. You can also find us on MySpace, myspace.com/HW Entertainment Radio. It's great. It's great to know that after 30 years or more, Winnie the Pooh is still being used as a marketing device for Disney. The same thing can be said about the Toy Story characters. The Toy Story characters, after a decade now, being put back on the big screen with Toy Story 3 just recently released for the first time ever on Blu-ray. and Toy Story 3 also available on DVD, and already now they have Toy Story 4 in the works. I thought when I saw Toy Story 3 that was it. You know, the toys had a new owner, Andy was off to college, but now apparently Toy Story 4 coming back on the big screen with new owners, a new story. Great, great. Recent theatrical releases from Disney also include The Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and most recently Cars 2, which gives you a different aspect and a different outlook on the cars from the original film. The difference is that they're in Tokyo now, and it's a whole new story. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. For more information on upcoming theatrical releases, head on over to Disney.com. You can also head on over to DisneyDVD.com for information on current and up-and-coming Disney DVD and Blu-ray releases. As I said, Blu-ray seems to be the thing that is really taking over now. Really replacing DVD. It seems like things are being replaced quicker than they were 10 years ago, but it's going to be fun to see Winnie the Pooh Blu-ray release for the first time in over, 25 years? That's what amazes me. Winnie the Pooh coming back after, just going from traditional animation into something that's computer animated. I mean, that's a big jump from what we originally saw Winnie the Pooh do. And this is a good sign for fans of original Disney films, because with Winnie the Pooh coming back to the big screen in 2011 here, is this a sign that we're going to see, Mickey Mouse come back with a film, or The Lion King come back with a new adventure film, different things like that. That's going to be interesting to see what direction Disney are taking their characters in. It seems like they're still marketing them, because you go to Walmart or Zellers or Kmart or something, and you're always seeing new merchandise put on the shelves from characters that were in films 20 years ago. So it's interesting to see it, and it's going to be fun to see this Winnie the Pooh film and see how it does in terms of box office sales. I'm not expecting it to be sold out or anything, but it's going to do well because of his popularity back in the 90s and how he came from being just someone who was done in traditional animation into improved animation, kind of like The Simpsons, who waited 20 years to be made into a big screen film. And then they come back with this new animation and a brand new story and everything. So it seems like, Disney is trying to take their original characters and do something new with them. And the good thing about it is it's being introduced. They're being introduced to a brand new audience of people who weren't there from the very beginning. I mean, your children, who probably are listening to this on YouTube.com, probably have never seen the Winnie the Pooh stories before that were released back in the 80s, and now we're going to get to see them reintroduced to a brand new audience with a brand new story, improved animation. And for those who were there from the very beginning, like myself and probably the parents of the children who are actually excited to see this film or have seen it, you get to see it. You get to see it reintroduced in a brand new way that it hasn't been introduced in before. So it's going to be interesting to see it. As I said, even with these characters not in films now, they're still being marketed as huge marketing devices. They're virtually on everything from lunch tins to school bags, you name it. Disney's not going to part ways with these characters and put them in the Disney vault just yet. The Winnie the Pooh film is a good sign for original characters to make a return to the big screen in what's got to be over 20 years, talking in terms of 2 decades. If I find the Winnie the Pooh trailer, I'll throw it up here in our YouTube video in the info section for you to check out. I might even include it in our radio form or throw it up on our Facebook page. If I have any information about the Winnie the Pooh film to throw along in addition to this audio commentary that is being done out of an absolute love and adorance for Winnie the Pooh and the original characters, I'll throw it up on our Facebook page at facebook.com Jonathan Clarke. You can also comment on it on facebook.com Jonathan Clarke and let us know what you think about it. I think it's going to do well because of the popularity that he had in the 90s, all the computer games that were released, the Winnie the Pooh computer game that was actually released back in the early 90s with mouse pads and everything and the different activities. He had more than one computer game released, but they were always fun to play. Not just Winnie the Pooh games, but the 101 Dalmatians game that was released with a personal computer. The Pocahontas game was great, and I hope that he continues to have stuff developed from Disney Interactive, as he deserves to have it done. But it's interesting, it's wonderful to know that these characters are still being given a bit of life and still being brought to life after all these years and still being re-released for special edition DVDs and now, of course, Blu-ray, which has really taken over its fun. There's going to be some new songs produced also for this film. There's going to be an original soundtrack released for it as well, and it is going to be released for the first time on Blu-ray, which I'm excited about. 5 times the typical storage space of a traditional DVD, which gives you more space for more cool content, and 7.1 surround sound, and upping it from 720p to 1080, which is going to be a bit fun for people too, because now you're going to see Winnie the Pooh for the first time in HD, which I'm sure you're already seeing now on Disney Channel HD and Disney XD. But it's going to be fun to see him released for the first time in years on the big screen. Now, prior film releases from Winnie the Pooh, of course, include the Tigger movie, which wasn't released on the big screen. I'm pretty well sure it wasn't released on the big screen, but it's going to be fun to see this film. And if you have already seen it, I know it's already out in theaters right now, and it's doing well. From what I understand, you can let us know at facebook.com, Jonathan Clarke, youtube.com, Jonathan Clarke 22. And as I said, if I find anything like a trailer or any additional information on the Winnie the Pooh film, I will throw it up for you on our Facebook page and allow you to comment on it and view the trailer for yourself. Or you can head on over to youtube.com and you can find out more information on that as well. Disney has official Facebook pages and Twitter pages at facebook.com/Disney and twitter.com/Disney with millions of followers. We have linked the Disney Facebook page to our official Facebook page at facebook.com, Jonathan Clarke. It is there for you, and the Twitter page is twitter.com/Disney, but we have linked the Disney Facebook page to our official Facebook page, Jonathan Clarke. And if you actually click the likes button on the Disney Facebook page, you'll get updates about the Disney company and what they're doing in terms of theatrical releases and so on, and different projects sent directly to your Facebook wall. So if you get time, head on over to facebook.com/Disney. I'll probably include the referral links along with this week's audio commentary. And also head on over to Disney.com. Click on Movies at the top there in the navigational bar. You'll be redirected into a subsite which features trailers and information on the theatrical releases. And also head on over to DisneyDVD.com for release information on current and up-and-coming